Okay, CJ7 frame. I actually have had this one listed for a little while. I didn't have it completely stripped down, and I knew it had a bad rear section to it. So I kind of just marked it way down on what I thought it would be worth. But now that I actually look at it, this is actually still a really, really solid frame. You do need to do some repair work in the back. You can either reinforce it or you can just replace it. We might even have the section you might, if you do decide you want to replace it. But the frame, other than that, is nice and clean and straight, and it's rust free. It's got some studs that broke off in it, so you have to pop those out. So a little bit of prep work in it. But the frame down, the rails and everything are real nice and solid. Your belly pan bolts are all out. None of that. I kind of bent that mount for the leaf spring, so you'll have to bend that back. It should look like the rest of them. And whatnot. This is the bottom side of it, so I'll flip it over here in a second and give you the top side. But the factory paint is still very much on this. It's got a little bit of scaling and a little bit thin there where the mount was there for the shock tower. But that's it. The rest of it is real thick. The body mounts that went to the actual tub are not factory. These things were look like they were re-welded on, either because they put something custom on it or what. I actually remember the tub. The tub was really clean on this one, so I'm not quite sure what they did with these guys. But nonetheless, you can either use them or take those off and go back to the factory ones. Factory ones, just so you know, they look a lot like this here. Okay, so these are stronger. They just weren't welded up right, or properly, I should say. But the rest of it's good. It's not until you get back here. So it's solid, and then you get about here, and this is still good. But then you get that's good, and then you'll see it here. You'll switch right there. So about that second hump that comes up, and we are in the bottom of the frame, which would make sense because I think what happened is everything collected there, and you can see it all the way over to here. But the rest of it, like I said, is super solid. So it's extremely cheap. This frame is listed for like $800 plus shipping, and which is about $1,000 under what we normally sell a grade A frame for. So it kind of depends. If you're good at stuff like this and you want to lop that off, or you want to reinforce it, or depending on what you're dealing with, you might have a really bad frame. The factory paint's still on this thing, very much so. So I'm going to put the camera down just for a second and flip this guy over. You'll hear a bang here in a second as I flip it. You'll be seeing the sky, and then I'll show you the top side, and then we'll be done with the video on this guy. The cool thing about CJ and YJ frames is that they're actually fairly light. One person can get them flipped over. Two people can hoist them out. So here's top side of it. Again, you can really see how bad that is, and so that would be facing down, and it just rotted right out the bottom of it. Top of it is actually nice and solid. Both sides actually are fine, and then the back piece is solid until you get there. So that, I think that rail just filled right up on both sides and sat there. It was in a driveway when we picked it up. The tub was beginning to get a restore. The tub was immaculate. That of course sold already. We have some other videos up. That's a YJ frame there, and we were comparing them so you could see if you're going to do a tub swap from a YJ to a CJ, what's entailed. That's on our other videos, and whatnot. So anyway, here's the top side, and I'll get some photos of it as well, and then I'll be done with this video and on to the next one. I got about 25 frames to put up, and these things sell about as quick as I list them. So anyway, this one had, if you've seen this one before, you think you've seen it before, you probably did. The yellow would probably give it away, but also there was a gas tank mounted in the rear, but it was hiding so much of this stuff back here, I decided to go ahead and strip it all the way down, and so you can see it exactly as it is. So 303-666-9020. I've been doing this for about 8 years. The place that I own now, this place here, has been around for 30 years. We have just about everything you can possibly imagine, from the 40s all up to current years. Sometimes we run thin on stuff, but I'm constantly getting stuff in so we can put you down on a list. Or check out our website. It's got new parts on it now, but we are updating our used parts. We have about 75,000 used parts we're going to be putting up here in the next few months. That's going to be Jeeps Unlimited, .net. Again, it's jeepsunlimited.net, not .com, .net. .com will take you to a forum. .net is who we are. So, other than that, I appreciate taking a look at the video.